Hello and welcome to my November 2015 server room tour. This video will be displaying what's inside my server room, the room I had constructed for my home office slash data center, I guess you could call it. This room has my main computers as well as my server rack, and construction for it began in late of June 2015. I was very pressed for space in my tiny house. I had nowhere to put the servers other than my bedroom, and naturally with the noise, heat, and just general space they took up, it became very annoying to keep them running in my bedroom. So, decided to build a room for them because, well, there was nowhere else to put them. This room has just been excellent for the servers. It's really helped me gain a lot more knowledge on servers and computers in general. It's so nice to finally have an open space to work on things. And again, thank you so much to my grandmother for helping make this possible. I could not have done it without her. At my server rack. First things first, I'm going to start way up there. That is my guest Wi-Fi access point. It's a D-Link DI624. It's an old piece of junk from 2003, but it does the job for a guest Wi-Fi access point. The blue one is a WRT54G, which runs my LAN Wi-Fi. Again, not the biggest thing in the world, but I barely ever use Wi-Fi, so it works for me. Moving down a bit is my main switch. That is a TP-Link TLSG1016DE. If that model number isn't long enough, then I don't know what is. That is my main gigabit network switch, which runs everything from my servers, the router, VLANs, everything. That is my core switch. Everything that's important goes on there. That was bought brand new, unlike most other stuff in my rack, which I bought secondhand. Moving down a little bit, we get my Dell monitor. That's plugged into my main server at the moment. I hope to get a KVM switch soon. Copyright soon. But I don't know when that will happen. For now, it works fine because I only have one server that I ever really need to access. Moving down a bit more is the hot brick. Yes, it's called a hot brick. This one is the model of a Giga Brick, it's called. The Giga Brick has 24 ports, and it is used for all my LAN stuff that I don't feel like taking up ports on in my main switch. Stuff like my computers, my Wi-Fi, my security cameras, that kind of stuff. It's all good on here. Down a little bit more, we got a old compact PC, which is going to be a server someday. I'll get around to using it if I ever have to, but the specs aren't the greatest on there. It's got a dual-core AMD, I think, and a gig of RAM. Yeah, nothing too spectacular there. Moving on, we got Core 2 Duo machine. Is that the Core 2 Duo? It may be elsewise. I'll put specs on the screen. That runs monitoring for my buddy's VPS company. He runs Maximum VPS. Check him out. Both my buddies run VPS companies, so check them both out. VPSsoldiers.net and MaximumVPS.net. I'd recommend them highly. Down a little bit more, we got pfSense. It's a old Dell. I do not have the exact model number because it fell off, but it's an old Dell that runs pfSense. It's a Pentium 4 with 1 GB of RAM and a 30 GB hard drive. So spectacular, I know. It's not the biggest, most powerful machine in the world, but for pfSense it does more than enough. Moving down one more tier, we got my main server. This one is a Rackables 2U system. This Rackables has been running strong for 2 years. It's my main VM host. Which I plan to change up soon because I'm ordering another one of these units just because I love them so much. And both will be virtualized machines running VMs, but one will be more for my LAN VMs and the other one for more of my public important VMs. This one right now is running 8 different virtual machines. That includes IRC, web hosting. I got 2 web servers, and then a few VMs for ZoneMinder, my security system, and a couple VMs for my friends. And below that is a Dell SC1425, or rather the shell of one. That I purchased 3 years ago. It was one of my first servers, but it never really worked right. It always had issues from the start, and it was 30 bucks. So what do you expect for 30 bucks? I kind of just took what I could out of there, the RAM, the PSU, and now that's just kind of sitting there empty. Maybe I'll reuse the case someday, but I don't know. It's always nice to just have on hand. Moving down a bit more. Sorry for the dark lighting down there, but yeah, it's not really easy to... Oh, Jesus. Camera. It's not that easy to illuminate that down there. That is a Lenovo IX2. That is my NAS. That's 4 terabytes of storage. 2 terabytes usable in RAID 1. That's been running great. It's been my daily driver as a NAS for several years now. 2 years, not several, my bad. So far it's been great. Even though it's discontinued, Lenovo keeps pushing software updates to it, which is a really nice thing of them to do, so thanks Lenovo for that. Moving over a bit more, we got my CyberPower computer, CyberPower UPS, not computer. This can run the whole server rack for about 20 minutes. And yeah, it's been a great little UPS system there. You've got your LCD display that shows you information. And yeah, overall great unit. As you can see, I have to put a white box under it because some of the wires in the server rack don't reach all the way up to the top. So that's a little booster, I guess you could say, to keep it up. And that is basically my network in a nutshell, my server rack in a nutshell. And now, on to my main workstation corner. This is my main computers that I use on a daily basis. My main one down there is a Core i7 with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, that's my main computer. I use it for all my work. At the moment, as you can see, it is running Windows 7. That's going to change soon, very soon. I'm installing Linux on this as soon as December comes around. I have 3 monitors there, 2 of them 17-inch Septree monitors, and the middle one is a Westinghouse 22-inch TV. Nothing too fancy there, just standard monitors and keyboard. My next computer is a Debian 8 box. This is my secondary computer that I'll use whenever I don't really feel like using my main one for whatever reason. This is also what I use to SSH into everything, manage my servers. It's really nice because it's you know, it's its own system from the main computer, so I can use it however I want. Nothing too fancy there. That's just a little, oh, you can't even see it from here. It's a little Core 2 Duo desktop, one of the slimline models, 4 gigs of RAM, and a 1 terabyte hard drive. Nothing too fancy in there, but it does its job for a work desk PC. And that is my main computer setup. And this is my workbench area in the server room. Use this to repair computers, just do various work that I have to do. It serves its purpose. It's pretty great. I love it, having all the space to work on computers and get the job done. And who could forget the fish tank? Because having 10 gallons of water mounted to a wall in a server room is the greatest idea in the world. What could go wrong? In all seriousness, though, this is my fish tank. If anyone cares, it's a couple tetras in there and a female beta. So yeah, that adds a little bit of decoration to the room, I guess you could call it. And one of my favorite things in the room is the power panel. This thing has 50 amps dedicated just to this room. I have a 20 amp circuit just for servers. I have outdoor plugs on a 15 amp breaker. The lights, my air conditioner, the plugs, and the screens over there are all on their own separate breakers. Before I was running everything off of a really shabby 15 amp circuit that apparently the geniuses who wired my house in the 50s figured, oh, let's put 4 different rooms on a 15 amp breaker. So that was never fun. That's why I'm real happy now to have all this power. Something else I get asked a lot is, oh my god, you must be taking thousands of dollars a month to run these servers. Actually, no. It's costing me about $14 a month to run everything, including my main computers, my servers. That goes up a little bit in the summer due to air conditioning, but that's expected. I also live right next to a nuclear power plant, so that's most likely why, yeah, it's so cheap. But that's my main power distribution panel. I use this, all the breakers for separate things. So yeah, lights on separate, servers on separate, everything's on its own. And of course, the most important thing in a server room is the air conditioner. This is an LG LW6015ER with a remote control. Good luck seeing that. This thing is 6,000 BTUs. I went a little bit overkill on the BTU rating for this room size, but because of the servers, I figured it would be nice to have a little bit of extra power. This thing keeps it very nice, and a very nice and cool 68 degrees Fahrenheit at all times during the summer. It's not on at the moment though, because it's a few degrees above freezing outside. Gotta love November. This thing here has 2 vents up in the top there. well, it's one big vent, but you can change the direction of the two separate areas. And yeah, this thing just keeps pumping out cold air non-stop. And so far, I would recommend it. It's pretty quiet. It can get a little bit noisy whenever it's a very, very hot day, but it's an air conditioner. Deal with it. For the little bit of noise you have to put up with and the amount of cold air you get, it's amazing. I love this air conditioner, and I would recommend it to anyone looking for one. And so yeah, that's pretty much my room in a nutshell. My server room. This was just constructed little whiles back in the summertime. I will post a link to the video showing a time lapse of its construction. So far, I couldn't be happier with it. It's just a great place for all my servers, all my fiddling around with computer stuff, and it gives me a lot of space to do that. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.